Hello again, and welcome to the online dashboard demo. Hopefully, you just watched the app demo. If you have not watched it, go back and watch it. I'm watching you. Of course, all of the app data syncs instantly to the online dashboard here. When you arrive here, you're going to see these 9 options. I'm going to touch on each of them briefly, but we're going to go into depth with 3 of them a little bit more that are the ones that aren't on the app, and that's recipes, reports, and the POS system. Let's get started. So let's start with locations. Locations is very simple. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So these are the locations inside your bar, and you can set up as few or as many as you want. Some people just like bar and low and storage. Some people like to have 15 different locations. It's totally up to you. It's good if you set up some locations though, because when you run a stock on hand report, you can break it down by location and see which products are in which location. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes here. It's very simple. When you get here, just go add location, type it in, hit submit. It's that simple. Vendors, very similar. You're just going to hit new vendor, type in your vendor name. You can enter the contact information as well as if you like. It's good to have vendor set up so when you run an order report, it will break it down by vendor and tell you which products to order by each vendor. Categories, when you get here, these product types are preloaded on here. You just have to set up your subcategories. Now you can add another product type if you want. So you can see the ones that we have preloaded on here. But if you sell like hats and t-shirts, you can add a product type, type in like retail, submit. It just won't have the little cool icon. It defaults to a martini icon, so you can add product types and more subcategories if you want. It's good if you set up your subcategories as we do, because then you can use our master product list, which has all the categories on there just like we have set up, and you can copy paste into a blank template and then upload your products instantaneously, so it's very convenient. However, you can enter your products, your subcategories any way you want. Some people, for instance, like to do wine. If they have a wine bar, they might want to enter Merlot, Cabernet, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, etc., and have a huge wine category and break it all down. Totally up to you. But if you want to copy paste from our master product list, you'll have to set it up just like we do. We have all the way energy drinks, non-alcoholic. Like I said, we can do food on here, cigarettes, garnishes, anything you can dream up, we can do. You just have to set it up in the category section. Next, we'll cover products. We're not going to spend a lot of time on products. We talked about it inside the app, but here's where you can maintain all of your products. Here's where you upload your products when you first get going, when you set up your account. Um, Again, you can maintain all this information here. All the specs are right across the top. You can go inside at any time, hitting this little edit icon, and you can edit any of the information here at any time. You can also enter a new product right here if you're doing so individually. Same thing, you just have to enter all of these fields right here. So along the top here, you'll see we have edit mode. Instead of going and clicking the icon individually, you can go edit mode and all the boxes will come up here and you can go inside and edit all this information at any time straight across, so you don't have to do it all individually. So super convenient. And then again, here's where you upload your products. You can export your products to an Excel spreadsheet, keep it in a file if you want. Here's where you also export the blank template when you come here and there's nothing on the account when you're first setting it up. Here's the master product list, which you'll export. And then up here, you can search by category or you can type the product in by name. So that's a quick overview of the products. This is just where you'll maintain your products and upload them when you first get set up. Let's go over inventories and invoices really quick. Once you sync all the data, all your inventories show up instantly. And on the inventory screen, you'll see that the invoices show up here as well. And right across the top here, you have inventory type, description. This is a demo account, so we haven't filled out any description. You don't have to, but you could put first inventory or whatever you want. The number of products, the date. Here you can lock or unlock an inventory. Let's say that you have bartenders taking inventory. Once they count it, you want to lock the inventory so they can't get in there from their device anymore and make changes and manipulate the data at all. That's totally up to you if you want to lock that or unlock it. Your vendor here, if it's an invoice, the invoice totals, this is a demo account, so we didn't enter the totals there, but it does automatically count the wholesale and retail value of your inventory. And if you go inside one, you can see here it has all the details, each individual product, the location it's in, the quantity type when you counted it, how much, and then your wholesale and retail value of each. And then you can edit the date up here, put any notes in if you want, totally up to you. Like I said, all your invoices show up here. We have an invoices screen also, but really we didn't need it. We added this here where you can choose any type up here. So you can choose invoice, search, and then just your invoices will come up. And then either from here you can do new inventory for an invoice, or you can go to the invoices screen to enter an invoice. Here's where you'll enter your invoices, and then you choose the date. I would recommend doing your invoices the day they come in. Some people fall behind. Select your vendor, your invoice amount, the invoice number so you can track it, invoice notes if you want to, maybe something's returned or something broke, you can put that in there. And then you're just going to add products and search for them as you would in the app. Say Grey Goose, type in the first few letters, they all pop up. Select your location, whether it's a bottle or a case. Make sure the case size is correct, and then you'll enter your quantity, and the wholesale and retail price come up immediately. And then you can go to add more products. Jack Daniels, just go to the next one. Let's say that a case of Jack Daniels came in, one case. Again, it automatically calculates the price. Done. Whenever you're done, there they are right there. And then you just go ahead and hit submit, and you'll have a new invoice on there. And then in just a moment, when we go through reports, I'm going to show you how you can run an invoice report to see how much you bought over a certain time period. So let's get into recipes. First off, let's start by defining the difference between a product and a recipe. Some people get confused. A product is anything that's delivered on the truck. Anything on an invoice is a product. A recipe is any button in your POS system, anything that gets a portion size. For instance, if we look at the sales data, this is sales data from an Aloha POS system exported to Excel. All of these numbers, each of these numbers is a recipe, or each of these names is a recipe. So the system reads these names or numbers, and it knows exactly by the portions that have been set up how much should be poured. And then we can go to the variance report and see how accurately the bartenders are pouring. You can't run a variance report unless the recipes have been set up. So again, here's Kettle One and Jameson, Tito's. These are all products, but they're also recipes because they get a portion size inside your POS system. So let's go inside recipes really quick. Let's take a look. Let's look inside. Let's look inside like a Cosmo, because that has multiple ingredients. And here's the back end of it. So we account for everything when we do a Cosmo. It gets 1.5 ounces of Absolute, 1/2 ounce of Triple Sec, 1/2 ounce of cranberry juice, and then 1/2 a lime. It's very important that you account for everything. You don't have to. You can just do your liquors. But again, the cranberry juice and the lime, this is going to be about 20 or 25 cents extra per drink, and if you don't account for that, it can be hundreds of dollars of difference that you're not accounting for. So again, put all of your ingredients for every drink in here. You can add as many ingredients as you want or take away. And then we have item costing in here, and people have been loving this because you can just simply enter the price for a Cosmo, and it's going to tell you your total cost, your cost percentage, and your profit for a Cosmo. People get gung-ho about cost percentage, but remember, we are putting dollars in the bank, so profit's the most important. So you can put your most profitable items on a menu by coming here. And if you don't like your cost percentage or profit, you can play with the price here. I can switch this to 9, and you can see this automatically changes right here. So you can come in the back end at any time and do this. We have a way to upload your recipes to make it quicker, just like products. So you copy paste from your sales data report, put it in there, adjust your portioning, and then you can upload all of your recipes right here. Upload recipes. Again, when you start out, you'll export your blank template right here. You can add a new recipe at any time. You just need to come in and fill out all of these fields right here, add as many ingredients as you want, put in the item price right there. Again, you can search by recipe name, recipe description, or by category. So get your recipe set up, and then you can run your variance report. Let's talk about the POS system right now. So 95% of POS systems integrate with Bar Patrol the way we do it. All we need it to do is export your sales data to an Excel spreadsheet, and then we're able to upload that sales data instantaneously into Bar Patrol, and then we can run a variance report. If you don't know how to do it, just ask your rep, and they should be able to tell you how to do it easily. So we're just going to go into the POS once we're ready to upload, and we're going to upload PMix, which is short for product mix, same thing as sales data. And then once here, this is the back end. We just need to line the columns up with POS ID number, the name, the number sold, and the total dollar amount sold. So I show you this list earlier here. This is from Aloha. Yours is going to look something like this. This is the number, the name, the number sold, and the total dollar amount sold. So just line those columns up here. You only have to do it once, and then it'll be set for good. Some POS systems do not have a number for the recipes, so we can just go by recipe name. We'll just leave the ID number blank. We can do it either way, not a problem. And then you're going to choose your start date and your end date, whether it's 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, whatever it is. It's between 2 inventory dates. And then you're just going to choose your file, the one I just showed you, find out where it is, and then just to upload, and we're ready to go. Here's what it looks like after you upload it. These are all the uploads right here. If we go inside one, you can see the number sold for every single product or every single recipe you have and the total sales number. We can also do it manually. All right, not as convenient, but in cases like if you want to spot check your bartenders, just count 4 of your most popular products on a Tuesday night, see how Joe's pouring. You can come in here if you're just doing like Grey Goose, Jameson, and just enter the sales data for those 4. If you don't want to upload the entire thing, choose your start and end date and you're ready to go. Once your sales data is uploaded, we're ready to run a variance report. So let's finish up with reports. This is what we do it for, so we can find out what's going on inside our business. We're just going to go top to bottom here on the reports. We're going to start with stock on hand report. And once you get inside here, the reports will show up over here. So we're going to start with stock on hand. Stock on hand is literally what you have on hand. So you can choose any inventory date you did and just run a stock on hand report. And you can get an eyeball of what you have really quickly. People will use this also before they have their PAR set up. So if you don't have your PAR set up, you can't run a purchase order, but you can come here, run a stock on hand, see exactly what you have on hand, and then you can eyeball it and do your ordering like this until you're ready. You can also group it by location. I mentioned this earlier. If you run a stock on hand report again, it'll break it down by bar kegs, crates, whatever your locations are, middle rail, right rail. It's going to show you exactly what you have on hand in each location. Usage report. We have a usage report on the variance report. I'll show you that in a minute, but let's go ahead and run one here. You can do it for any time period in between 2 inventory dates. Let's do a 2-week one right here. It's going to show you each product, its beginning value, if anything was invoiced along the way, your ending value, and then how much was used in bottles or containers and ounces. So for instance, Beefeater, 2.21 bottles used or 74 ounces, and then your total expenditures on the right. Invoice report, very valuable. Once you're doing your accounting, if you send it off to your accountant or maybe you do your own accounting, it's important to know how much you spent for the month or the week. This is a 2-week one right here. You can do it by vendor, so you can see what we ordered from Southern during those 2 weeks, or you can just run them all at once. So again, it breaks it down by vendor over here, shows you exactly what you ordered, which date you ordered it on, how much was invoiced, and the cost of each. And then you can get your total expenditures, especially for the month when you want to run your profit loss statement. Very valuable. I'm going to do the variance report last. Let's go over the purchase order. Once your PARs are set up, you can choose an inventory date you do during the week. You can do your ordering. You run an order report. Again, it's going to break it down by vendor. Each product that needs to be ordered based on your PARs. So here's your PAR level here. Here's the reorder point. Once it gets below this reorder point, it's going to tell you to order enough to get back above the PAR. So this is the stock on hand that shows right here. A lot of people will just set their reorder point the same as their PAR. So anytime it drops below the PAR at all, it's going to tell them to order enough to get back above. Some people like to let it run a little bit lower and then order in bulk to get it back above. That's totally up to you. It tells you what to order by, what container, whether order by the bottle or the keg, or maybe you set it up to order by the case if it's wine. And then it's going to tell you the suggested order. So you can just tell your vendors exactly what you want to order, and then your total expenditures down here on the right. Okay, let's get to the variance report. This is the big one. Here's where you can track what your bartenders are pouring. There's 4 tabs here at the top. I'll go over all of them really quick. This is a 1-week variance report to see how the bartenders poured. So we just hit run variance report. And again, you got the 4 tabs up top here. The first one's a variance overview. It breaks it down by category: bottle beer, draft beer, liquor, wine. If you have your other categories that you've been counting on, they will show up here as well. Based on your sales data that we uploaded, it's going to give you your POS sales for each category, how much was rang in by the bartenders wholesale wise, how much was used, how much they actually poured wholesale, and then your total loss at wholesale. We also do retail amount here, and I mentioned this in the app why we do retail for products. It's so you can see how much you're losing at retail. This is very important. So it says how much was rang in retail, how much was actually poured by the bartenders, and how much was actually lost. We found that the amount lost is about somewhere in the middle. So they lost $3,400 in retail here. They lost $750 at wholesale. It's somewhere around $2,200 of real money lost based on this report. And then we have variance percentage, which we find the granddaddy of them all because this is what is physically missing. So this is an overview. Where it gets really powerful is in the results. We have the POS data right here. This is the sales data you uploaded. It's a quick reference that you can look at if you want. And again, like I said, we have a usage report right here that shows it for the week. So you can run it here or you can run it over here. But the results tab is where it breaks it down by every single product. It's going to show you exactly what was rang in by the ounce. Let's go down and look at a couple examples here. Let's look at like Jägermeister. Jägermeister has a 69% variance percentage. That's what's missing physically, 69%. People, like I said, are all gung-ho about cost percentage, but pour cost percentage is deceiving because if you sell a ton of well liquor that pours at 5%, it's going to go down, but your profits go down too because well liquor is less profit. And you could have higher pour cost percentage like Grey Goose or Don Julio, but you're going to make more profit. So pour cost percentage is not always the granddaddy. We do both. So we have ideal pour cost percentage, your actual pour cost percentage, how much was lost in pour cost percentage, but the variance percentage is going to show you what's physically missing. So in this case, 4 Jägermeisters were rang in. They pour 1.5 ounces of this bar, so they should have poured 6 ounces. They poured 10.14. They lost 4.14 ounces. Here's what they lost at wholesale, what they lost at retail, and then again the percentages right here. So about 70% of their Jaeger has gone missing, and you can use this report to show your bartenders when they know that you are watching this closely and you have this much detail. It's amazing. People will act a more responsible way when they know they're being watched. They've done studies on it. When I did full service audits, I used to send out summary reports to the bartenders and show them exactly these ounces right here, how detailed it was, and the variance would go from 27% down to about 5%, and I was saving owners thousands of dollars. You can do the exact same thing using these reports right here. And then again at the very bottom, it has your total variance right here. So there's the reports. This is how powerful it is. That concludes everything on the online dashboard. Make sure, again, you can schedule an on-screen share demo with me where you can ask questions. I'm going to show you a lot of the same stuff, but you can't ask a question. You can ask me questions. If you have any questions at all, you can also email me at dave@realbarman.com, and I'll answer you as quickly as possible. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you soon.